In week 5, we have a written assignment, the article critique. There are several documents that you will need to complete this assignment. The first is that a student will need to find an article through the student library or through their online research. Next, the student needs to review the miniature guide to critical thinking, specifically page 11. There's also an article critique tutorial, a prep example of how to answer the questions in the tutorial, and a couple of article critique student sample assignments. Let's begin with reviewing the miniature guide to critical thinking. You'll find this in week 5 additional handouts. On page 11, you will see a series of questions about analyzing the logic of an article. Template for analyzing the logic of an article. The first question, the main purpose of this article is. The second, the key question that the author is addressing is. And as you can see, there are 9 questions, 2 questions for 7. We will take these questions and with our answers and compose an article critique. Your article critique is 1 page, single space. Let's look at the article critique tutorial. This is a PowerPoint presentation. The first slide tells us why we will write an article critique. The next slide gives a few guidelines on the rules of writing an article critique. You will choose a topic of your own and an article. These cannot be the research articles that I have presented to you during this course. You could use a good mix of articles of peer-reviewed journals, trade journals, or websites. We were only doing 2 article critiques. I do ask that one of your article critique is from a peer-reviewed journal. A peer-reviewed journal are journals that have been, before they have been published, they have been reviewed by those within their field. When you go into the library research database, there is a box to click that indicate that you are searching for journals that are peer reviewed. Again, use proper APA style in your reference of your source. APA indicates that you should use double space, but for this specific exercise you'll use single space. Answer the following questions in the complete sentences, and this is what we will use from our page 11 in the Miniature Guide to Critical Thinking. These questions have been altered a bit so they would help us answer more concisely, so we can construct a 1-page single space critique. The first question is, what is the author's focus? And what is the main or most significant key idea of this or question of the source? If we review back into our template of analyzing the logic, it is pretty close. Instead of what is the main purpose, we indicated what is the author's focus. The key question that the author is addressing has been expanded a little bit. What is the main or most significant idea or key question? Sometimes our journals aren't just asking questions. They may be addressing a topic at large. That's why we've changed the questions a bit. When you have answered the questions, then you can combine them to construct the first part of your article critique. The PowerPoint continues on with the next questions, and then you would see the next questions answers. The final 3 questions are here, and once again the final 3 questions are answered for it. There's some additional information in the PowerPoint that helps you set up your layout of your article critique. Many students have asked, how can they go about answering the questions and then converting them into a 1-page summary? There is a second document called Prep Work for the Article Critique. While this document will not be turned in, sometimes students find it helpful in constructing their one-page article critique. As you can see, the questions are written in italics. What is the author trying to do, or the purpose? And the student then answers in a sentence format. They go through each question and write down their answers. What they do then is step back from the assignment and look at all the questions and then reorganize the answers, change a few words to come up with their final document, which would be their critique. This is a sample article critique. It is single space, indented, and you see that you have your reference at the top of the page. In the header, there is a small phrase to indicate to the reader the topic of this article critique. And in the footer, it's the person's last name, comma, first initial, the same way that we see in the way the author is listed in APA. The student has taken their answers to these questions in the PowerPoint and the questions that were originally from the template, and have used their answers, their larger answers when they laid it out, and have condensed all this into the article critique. You might see in here that you have a specific page number, just as we have with our any type of direct sourcing, that if a direct source is taken from the article, you would indicate the page number. You do not need to indicate the author or year before the page number, because the author and year is indicated at the top of the page.